So, hello then, day four on the Barcelona World Race course, and a record for Hugo Boss. A new leader this morning in the shape of the Chamonix Pugila, but it's still pretty close with the top three or four boats. Overnight problems reported for Alex Thompson and Pepe Ribas on Hugo Boss. They caught a net and a difficult back down from that, and they said they in fact caught three different objects or hit three different objects in the Straits of Gibraltar. Also, problems for Gaius. Anna Crabea reported that they hit some drifting wood or tree debris and had a little trouble with their rudder. The breezes, meantime, remain brisk enough for the leaders. Five boats into the Atlantic, still very close, as I say, between the top three. And they're getting into ocean racing mode. More of a routine, a chance to settle down a little. And the contact today we had with the Spirit of Hungary, showing really good spirit and humour despite being quite far back. Anyway, let's check with the race direction and what the weather's going to do.
The first five boats in the Barcelona World Race fleet have escaped the clutches of the Mediterranean and crossed into the Atlantic Ocean, ready to begin the 6,000 miles journey south to the Cape of Good Hope. Race leaders Hugo Boss were swiftly followed by Neutrogena, Cheminée Pujula and Gaius Santos Auditivos last night, all crossing Gibraltar within 4 hours. Today the front half of the fleet were seeking to gain miles to the west before heading south. However, they remained grouped, compressing slightly overnight, with just 20 miles covering the 4 leading boats as Cheminée Pujula moved up to first place in front of Neutrogena, Gaius and Hugo Boss. They will likely experience moderate 10 to 15 knot winds over the next 24 hours, which will increase as they approach the Canary Islands and hook into stronger northeasterly breezes.
Okay.
So, looking at this morning's rankings, Chamonix Pugila up to first, Neutrogena second, and Gaius in third. Hugo Boss dropping down to fourth momentarily. Renault Capture in fifth. One Planet, One Ocean sixth. We Are Water in seventh. And Spirit of Hungary still in eighth and about 200 miles behind the leaders.
Perfect.
You can see we've got wind. We've got like 2, and that's been the maximum we've had all day for more than 2 hours. So it's been really hard to make any progress.
Good. This is not the start you wanted, but how are you both feeling physically and mentally?
How are we doing physically? Physically, we're doing fine.
And how's the kind of weather prognosis now? How does it look for the next 12 hours, for example? Is there a chance to get moving and get down and maybe catch a few miles?
We can't think about chasing the others at the moment until we can win. At the moment, we've no strategic options. We're in a completely different zone and no options for the moment.
Hi, Andy.
Nanda,
Yes,
how are you?
I'm here. It's difficult to say. Can be. You conditions, you see a position. We didn't know our abilities. In the night after the start, we had a sail, and which was corresponding to our route we wanted to do a little bit easterly than and would have been better to have the A3 gen running down, but it was my choice to keep the Richer and We lost distance in that time. Since the time we are in a very negative phase. We are running all the time the sail, the winds.
So then 5 boats through Gibraltar now into the Atlantic. A record for Hugo Boss by more than 1 day yesterday afternoon or early evening. But it remains pretty close between the top 3. A new leader this morning in the shape of Chamonix Pugela. That's largely virtue to the fact that they're closer to the rum line. But Neutrogena and Chamonix Pugela very, very close on the water. Only about 2 miles of lateral separation. And they will be seeing each other as they race along. Meantime, Gaius Petros and Gerard up to 3rd place in theory. They're most south of the fleet, but again, it's a little bit skewed because they're closer to the rum line than Hugo Boss at the moment. Meantime, One Planet, One Ocean are really out on the road, a little bit further back. They've got some good speeds as they approach the Strait to Gibraltar this morning. We Are Water, 50 miles behind them, but very south, down on the Algerian coast, and Spirit of Hungary, where we spoke with Nandor Fa and Conrad Coleman this morning. They're still struggling, very, very light winds, only 1 or 2 knots of boat speed at times, a long way behind, but it's all relative. There's, of course, a long way to go in this race, and they will progressively find their feet as a team and learn their boat. Indeed, we did speak with Conrad Coleman and Nandor Fa live from Spirit of Hungary.
Yes, go ahead if you can explain us all this problem with the rudders and the objects you find at the sea.
Yeah, so tonight in Gibraltar Strait we had some problem with, we hit maybe some trees or something like that. Several times, maybe 5 or 6 times, we lost the control of the rudders because our rudders go up when they hit something. So we were like drifting in the middle of the Strait of Gibraltar with a lot of sail and a lot of wind and a lot of traffic. And it was not very funny, but I don't know what happened, but there was a lot of things floating on Gibraltar Strait tonight.
Perfect.
So Conrad Coleman and Nandor Fa there on Spirit of Hungary. Just to summarise what Conrad was saying, principally initially there were big differences between what they saw on the grid files and what they actually got. So Conrad said they had about 8 knots in the forecast, they only ended up with 2. He said they were too conservative in the initial sail choices. Principally, they came down their pitching sail when they should really have gone straight to their A3. But that's also part of the product of the fact they never had the spinnaker up before the start. In terms of problems, then nothing too much. Some chafing on the boat. A joke that the chafing is with the ropes and the sails, not between Nandor and he, and really nothing major, no big problems. A bit of an emotional roller coaster for them though. Big expectations before the start, but really settling into the routine. And Conrad again emphasising they are a new team. They're still settling how they work together. Nandor, he said, is very much the boss on board. Anyway, they're getting into things. They say they never had the kite up before the start in anger, certainly not racing. All of the delivery for them was upwind, so they only came together about 1 month ago as a team, and the boat really was only launched finally 6 weeks ago. They have 160 miles to go to Tarifa this morning, still very slow on Spirit of Hungary. We saw that image of the sail just about slatting, but they seem to be in pretty good humour. The other person we spoke to this morning was Anna Corbea on board Gaius. Said,
Estem entrant encara queda, però estem a la vora de l'estret de Gibraltar. S'està fent de dia, avui és dia 3, a les 7:26 UTC. I res. D'aquí una miqueta estarem a la boca de l'estret, queden unes 30 milles, unes 3 horetes. Per sort el passarem de dia, la qual cosa ens anirà bé. Podrem esquivar els troncs, no? Exacte. Ara només estem pendents de l'acceleració i si puja la meteo, perquè anem amb tot l'espi. I si puja la meteo, doncs ja veurem. Però de moment, 30 milles, 30 milles. 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 30 l'espi gran, la 2. I ara si puja el vent, el baixarem i posarem una vela més petita. Vinga, fins aviat. Records a tots. Dídac, saluda.
Adéu, Mediterrani!
C'est la première fois qu'on utilise des bateaux et c'est la première fois que des flotteurs seront largués en course. Chaque équipage va partir avec un flotteur. Un flotteur, c'est un robot un peu automatique qu'on met à l'eau, qu'on mouille en surface, qui plonge à 1000 mètres, qui dérive à 1000 mètres de profondeur, qui replonge à 2000 mètres et qui remonte en surface. Il fait ça tous les 10 jours. Donc tous les 10 jours, il est en surface et ça nous permet d'avoir des informations sur le courant et la température et la salinité de l'eau de mer.
Hoy hemos presentado a todos los skippers de la regata el proyecto Seed Clubs. Hemos desarrollado una aplicación para el smartphone para participar en este proyecto y tomar por tu propia iniciativa las fotos del agua marina, de la superficie del agua marina y determinar el color óptico del agua. Recopilamos toda esta información, la analizamos y sacamos algunas conclusiones sobre el efecto, digamos, de la actividad humana y cómo afecta al agua y sobre todo a las especies marinas como el plancton.
En plus, on va dans des régions où il n'y a pas beaucoup de bateaux qui passent. Donc si on peut aider la recherche à comprendre les océans et peut-être la pollution des hommes, c'est très bien. J'avais pas imaginé que l'eau changeait de couleur comme ça.